Okay, so remember that they're changing my voice. Now imagine God watching this. He sees that the top martial artist ever possible is being mocked and provoked by people who are similar in spirit to Marilyn Manson, to the people from the Jackass series, to the Simpsons, to the serial killer Gacy, the false image of Christ, which looks dead on like you'd expect the devil to look. Betas, this beast scrambled. And you see them waving an Israeli flag or a Palestinian flag, for example. No offense to anybody, but when you look at what's going on here, it's these people are reproducing the children of their oppressor and their oppressor's henchmen. This was the Robin Hood cartoon. It'd be Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham who they're reproducing with. Okay, if it was Labyrinth, it would be the goblins. If it was Star Wars, it'd be Jabba the Hutt's little sidekick and Jabba himself. And they're waving those flags. And you see it in their features and characteristics. This is part of why they edit my pictures. Because, my dad is a Nigerian guy with a big Nigerian skull, head. Okay? Not a Jewish head or a white head. And my head was not like a Jewish head or a white head. It wasn't that big, but it wasn't Jewish or white looking. Okay? The patriarchal line is dominant, and most black genes are dominant, like big lips, curly hair, height, what have you. Bone structure. And sometimes it comes out somewhere in between, what have you. So, as we see that they're provoking me, you couldn't miss unless you tried that people are disassociating like Gacy the clown serial killer. They're disassociating like the violator from Spawn and pretending to be some kind of demon. And even people who look regular, nice looking Palestinian protesters, okay, the most reasonable of the Israelis, even those people are doing the wrong thing. And when we look at the pinnacle of morality, where would we expect to see it? We expect to see in the black community, right? Mandela types, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We'd expect something like this, right? It's only me. I go beyond Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X combined, and it's just me. My father is blameless, but it's just me. Just me standing for what's right. Just me pointing out that they're fuming people and poisoning them in a way that's honest and true and believable, not as controlled opposition, like some of these so-called targets. It's just me telling the absolute truth about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No offense to Democracy Now! Or Bernie Sanders or anyone else, but you're not telling the whole truth. You're just controlled opposition. You're not on my side, I'm not on your side. Because you're encouraging people to keep waving their Palestinian flags and keep reproducing with their oppressor. Why are Palestinian genes what they are? Why are they more Anatolian and Levantan and not so much Arab when so many of them are Muslim? Right next to Africa, only 6% sub-Saharan African. Because people all over the world, and Palestine is no exception, kept reproducing with their oppressor and their oppressor's henchmen. No offense to, the rather likable Hispanic community, but they reproduced with the white man who came, right? That's why they're part Spanish, part indigenous, and we see it with every single race. We see all the crypto Jew black people who are kind of the celebrities front and center. We see the way gang members have changed, right? Now they're short, skinny, kind of Jewish-shaped people. We see the Freemasons, one of their main goals is to build, right? The temple, right? The body's the temple in the Bible. And Freemasons are builders. The foolish builders who are building the temple of the devil. There's no other, it is impossible to see it another way. Most of these celebrities are 100%, have a 100% approval rate of Freemasons. Or Marilyn Manson probably, has sex with, male Freemasons. Because that's their belief, that illuminism, that illusion, that ill-gotten gains, that mental illness, that refusal to be a man and stand with God's Son, which any righteous person that ever lived would find utterly reprehensible and would immediately reject the possibility that their man or any of their offspring, if you come from a long line of people who wore aprons instead of manning up with all their heart to serve God, you're not going to produce any men. And even if on a fluke you could. Without me, after your groupings, your peoples, your nations have screened me out together, your women have shunned me, you will have no path to heaven. And in virtue means man. If you can't be virtuous, you can't be a true man. And if you're female, you can't be a true woman. And if you can't be a man, how can you claim to have outmanned me, outmaneuvered? How can you claim to win man to man? How can you claim to win with your spirits that you claim are masculine led, your patriarchal spirits? And the Spirit of God is the man, not your spirits. Your spirits failed to have enough virtue to be men.